So you've done some thinking about this, and as you've said, the market for cloud services is still actually pretty young.
Yep.
But it seems already to be hyper coalescing around two or three, huge players.
Right.
Is that where you see it going? Number one, and number two, is that bad for all the people in the audience?
I think that so it is super young. If you look at any of the data, we're talking kind of infrastructure and public cloud for a second.
And you got Microsoft, Google, maybe Amazon, right? Like
Microsoft, Google, Amazon. I think IBM.
Without the services layer, right?
Right.
Yep.
And so what we've seen is Amazon was certainly the first in the space to take the lead. It's actually not that. At first you're like, well, why would the biggest bookstore in the world? Why would an online bookstore, be the first leader in the space? And it was actually makes a lot of sense. It was only them and Google that even had the internet scale where it would have made sense to sort of open up their infrastructure for the outside world. So Amazon got into space first, and they have this amazing sort of competitive advantage because they see all of the new developer problems before anybody else does. And so they just continue to build better and better capabilities, better and better services. They have hundreds of different services that you can leverage, and that's what's created their lead. But when you actually look at the public cloud market relative to the entire computing space where all infrastructure spend is going, it's still a very, very small portion of that spend. And I think we're at a point where we're kind of looking at the maybe PC industry in the early 1980s or the smartphone industry in the early 2000s, where yes, we're seeing who some of the names might be and some of the market share positions. But I think when you're looking out 5 or 10 years from now, the space is going to look very different in terms of who's taking the lead. I think Google, for instance, hiring Diane Green is an incredibly, I think, both symbolic and substantive move on their part. It shows how important they see this space. It shows that they're very, very committed to fighting in this market. So I think the fact that Amazon is years ahead of everybody else is a sort of temporary phenomenon, and if we go out 5 or 10 years, the market is going to look very different than it is today.